Growing up, I grew up in a house of unbelievers, so I didn't have a great understanding. When I was about, 10, maybe 11 years old, living in a trailer park on the west side, humble means, we had a van that came to the trailer park and rounded up some trailer park kids and took them to Highway Gospel Hall in West Kelowna in the evenings. And I don't know how I got permission or who let me go. I don't remember asking my mom. But anyways, I was in a van. All of a sudden, I'm at worship and I'm learning Bible verses and having juice and cookies, and it was a good time. And that was the first real introduction to it. So here it is. There's one way. Are you in or are you out? And I said, I'm in. Well, I had a friend whose dad was a believer, and so I saw another Christian in a household, and he seemed to be in a household of unbelievers as well. He's studying his Bible solo, going to church sometimes on Sundays, and so I saw what it kind of looked like, and I spoke to him about it, and he told me that he accepted Jesus into his heart in the bathtub, so I did that too. I had a bath, and I said, you know what, Lord, I'm in the bath. It's you and me. Here we go. This is what I need. I accept you as my Lord and Savior, and I'm a child, a kid, and but that was the start of the journey. So that was, I've had an interesting walk for sure. I don't know. It's kind of funny to be here. I've never been a person to speak about my faith openly. 20 years ago, I was living in my car, and my car caught on fire. Yeah, I lost everything in this fire except for this one book. I brought it with me. Sharing Your Faith. Now you can see there's burn marks on the bottom. Everything else went but this. So I'm 20 years later. I just read this book 2 weeks ago, maybe 10 days ago, about 2 weeks. And it all came together. I don't know, things lined up. And if I go back about a year from now, I started a journal, and I was like, hey, my kids are 9, well, they're 8 and 4 at the time. I'm going to have to explain to somebody. I haven't been able to share my faith with anybody in my life. The kids have to know. So I got the journal, made some goals, and I was smoking cannabis quite heavily, if I'm openly honest. I've been sober from alcohol for 2.5 years, but cannabis for just about a year and a half. And I have this journal, and I'm writing down my goals, and I'm reading A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. And I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with Purpose-Driven Life, but it's 40 days. You're on this journey. So I read day 1 in the morning. Super inspired. Okay, here we go. Starting my journey. Got my journal. I got this book. Let's go on this. I'm going to do this. Finally, I've been setting goals my whole life to share my faith and to move forward. Let's do it. I get home that evening, and I have my regular cannabis intake, and something happened. I don't know, God must have done something powerful, because I went to a place of the most incredible anxiety, I had an existential crisis. But over the next month and a half, I lost 15 pounds. I couldn't eat. My faith was absolutely shaken. And I believe that God said to me, you can't have both. If you're going to do this, you're going to have to do it clean. And I haven't smoked a day since. That's January 4th, 2021. So that's a year and a bit. And I smoked my whole life, So I've been clean for a year and a half off of cannabis and clear, because, when you're high and you're doing these things, how good is your prayer? I mean, it's not terrific. You're not very clear. I was always a believer, but when I'm stoned, I'm telling you, the conversation isn't terrific. And so I was told, so I feel, can't have both. Quit that day, never smoked again. And I've been writing in my journal. I've been reading my Bible. I've been sharing my faith with my wife, who comes from a different background. She has a Catholic background, but she still believes Jesus is number one. So, hey, that's okay with me. And she supported me and helped me to be here today. So that's fantastic. If I'm going to thank anybody, it's my grandma Weller, who I just saw for the first time in 15 years, 2 weeks ago in Nanaimo. She's 90. And growing up, she prayed for me all the time. I didn't see her very often, but she never missed a birthday or a Christmas. There was always a card in the mail, written and writing about Jesus and praying for me. And as a kid in a home of a non-believer, I'm reading this going, okay, well, Grandma's praying for me. Grandma's praying for me. So thank you, Grandma. And so nice to see you. She's still so strong in the Lord, and she had a great story and a great transformation. So her and I had a good talk a couple weeks ago. So thanks to Grandma and to my beautiful wife for supporting me, and for me being here, and those folks at Highway Gospel Hall in West Kelowna for taking a kid from the trailer park, giving us juice and cookies and telling us about the Lord. So I understand that a sharing faith is a growing faith. So here I am to share and declare that Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and I'm putting all of my hope and faith in him.